What's up Internet, and welcome back to Bytes, the show you may have actually forgotten about. Today we're taking a look at the development of Kirby's Return to Dreamland and things that left behind. Without further ado, let's begin with a tale that was 11 years in the making. To begin explaining such an odd story like this one is, we'll have to scroll back the timeline to E3 2005, where a little game called Kirby Adventure was shown. No, not that one, but Kirby Adventure for the GameCube. The game played a lot like Kirby 64, with 2D side-scrolling and 3D environments. Kirby could make partners like a Superstar, and he could even ride their backs like in Dreamland 3. The power-ups were back too, as the trailer showed off some new ones like Water and Clean Kirby, also from Dreamland 3. Clean never saw the light of day, but Water did make it to Return to Dreamland. Also featured in the trailer was an unnamed boss that looked quite similar to DDD. This boss actually shows up later in Kirby Mass Attack as a boss in Kirby Quest mode. And it even makes an appearance in the EX mode of Return to Dreamland, found right after being the Metal General. The name, HRD3, is more than likely a reference to the boss in Kirby 64, HRH, the robot that Kirby fights on planet Shiverstar. The D3 part is probably a reference to King DDD's name because DDD, 3Ds? Yeah, HRD3 was probably a really cool concept, and I'm glad it finally made an appearance in all the games and didn't get lost to the sands of time. Now that was everything in the trailer, and unfortunately nothing was shown of the game again. According to Iwata-ass article, the game would have been slated to release soon after Kirby Air Ride if it had not been cancelled. HAL Labs later went on to make 2 other prototypes, both of them cancelled too. Only 2 screenshots of those games exist right now, with the first one of a 3D Kirby experiment with free-range controls and no byproducts. If you look closely, Kirby has a 6-part health bar, just like in Kirby's Adventure. The second screenshot is of another Kirby game, but this one's in glorious 2D. It features a pop-up book style, and I think it would have been the closest one to Return to Dreamland in gameplay. That prototype had a health bar unlike the other one, and possibly some kind of collectibles. Both games had a much more cartoony style than other Kirby games, and it would have been nice to have footage of the games because they kind of look really cool. For 9.5 years, the game's development went through all 3 iterations. By March 2010, all those games were cancelled and each left partially completed. However, in the financial results briefing document found on Nintendo Japan's website, it was confirmed that a Kirby title was still in the making. And later at E3 2011, a trailer dropped for Kirby Wii, the result of ideas from the prototypes and about a year of work. Cut content. There isn't a huge amount, but there are pretty big changes. The first piece of cut material is an unused enemy. Its name is Herebell, and it looks like it was meant to be attached to a wall. Maybe if Kirby went too close, it'd eat him, just like the Pacto or Barbar enemies. It's kinda strange looking too, and I have no idea where this enemy could go. It also has full animation, so it must have been cut late in development. Next up is a very small change in the Wolf enemy. The first version has no blue cap on its head, lighter shell, and a less detailed eye. And that's about it, nothing else. Now that we're on to the unused abilities, 2 super abilities were actually lost in time, with the first being Super Spark. The texture is all that remains, with all of the data overwritten by Ultra Sword. There's a possibility that Magolor Soul's super attacks are related, because his attacks are variations of Kirby's super abilities. The second lost super ability is Super Cutter, and this one has a bit more left of it, with the textures, the model of the hat, and the weapon itself. It was probably cut, wait, because of how similar it would be to the Ultra Sword. Man, Ultra Swords is ruining everything, isn't it? And lastly, cut music. Here's a very familiar theme. That song is actually from the Japanese version of Kirby Star Stacker for the SNES. Here's one variation of a song called Cactus 1. There are early versions of most of the songs in the game, but I won't pad out this video to show them all. Okay, so that's really all about it for the beta of Return to Dreamland. If you enjoyed this video, like, comment, share if you feel like, and check out my Twitter if you want to. And definitely don't forget to check out the comments, and I'll see you all later.